everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Olnuzola, and today I will be making a video for dark moon in Sagittarius on November 26th, but mostly for the new moon on November 27th. Also Sagittarius, it's Sagittarius season. Have you been feeling restless? What did I mean by pulling the arrow? Stay tuned and enjoy. Right now we entered the dark season, like I said earlier. So it's a time of introspection, a time of shorter days, and so naturally we should take more rest. I've also been talking about this subject with several people. I noticed that a lot of people are extra restless right now, and that's also a part of Sagittarius, because Sagittarius is the sign in which the dark and the new moon will be. And Sagittarius is a fire sign. It's a very active sign who strives towards their goals more passionately than a lot of signs. It's a very passionate sign, very adventurous sign. It's the opposite sign of Gemini, but also Sagittarius has a lot of ideas, striving towards their goal. And if we look at the symbol of Sagittarius, we can find several separate elements. It's a man figure on a horse. In mythology, we see more of these creatures that are also in Kemetic or Egyptian archetypes, gods, goddesses. We see these figures that are partly human, partly animal. So they are humans who, or beings who have aspects of both. Now, horses are noble creatures. Is that how you call it? Edeldieren. But they also represent strength. They can be calm, but they can also be fast. And the archer archetype pulls an arrow and shoots it towards their goals. Again, striving towards their goal. And I wanted to talk about the pulling element mostly, because we're now at, well, tomorrow is the dark moon. And I checked out some other astrology aspects of this moment. And what struck to me is the fact that the moon is in square with Neptune, and also in conjunction with the midheaven. And so Neptune is a water planet, well, represents the water element, and has to do with dreams. So I think that right now a lot of us, and especially during the last days of the waning crescent moon and the dark moon, a lot of us are a lot in our heads and dream a lot. You might have been experiencing more vivid dreams or stranger dreams, or even during the daytime maybe you found yourself fantasizing more than usual. This all comes from Neptune. And there's also, so the sun is in Sagittarius, and also Mercury and Mars are in Scorpio. So there is a lot of mystery, and I'd say there's an extra high sensitivity right now. So I think this is the time of the year in which we, most out of all moments, need to retreat and sit with our minds, really, and observe our minds. But I think right now is a good moment to just start shuffling and see what the cards will also tell us. I picked out 3 decks.
The Golden Dawn deck, because it has a lot of human figures in it, and it's not too deep when it comes to the symbology. And I know Sagittarius loves like clear information. Well, inside they're also about their journeys of the mind and philosophy. But on the surface, they like clear things. Also, they're into luxurious stuff, brands. Being royal, having expensive stuff, and so I figured it was the Golden Dawn Tarot, which is very, very esoteric. It's also very...
So let's see, let's start with Golden Dawn Tarot. So these cards are for our Sagittarius season, and also for this new moon cycle. We are heading towards the new full moon, and this month's full moon will be in Gemini. Now, what is interesting about astrology, and one of the many things I think, is that when we know our sun sign, so for Sagittarius sun signs, it's interesting to look at your opposite sign, which in your case is Gemini, because, and for me, I'm a Gemini sun, for me it's interesting to look at the Sagittarius sign, because in our opposite signs we find key elements in order to harmonize ourselves. So we shouldn't get too extreme in our sun sign. Our sun sign shouldn't be too dominant in our lives. And in order to balance that out and harmonize, it's interesting to look at your opposite sign. So I noticed that a lot of Sagittariuses love to do research, but once they found the information which are true to them, and those are truths for them, legitimately, they tend to not look at other sides anymore. So they first see this and they be like, yeah, it's red. But Gemini is like, yeah, but there's also this white candle. And Sagittarius tend to say, no, I first saw the red candle, so the candle is red. It's a very, very simple example, but simple examples work, right? So for me personally, it would be a good idea to not always go back and forth and also choose one project and actually go for that one project. And for Sagittarius, it's interesting to also look at other options. Alright, so let's go to the cards. Oh. So Sagittarius dark new moon, Sagittarius season, this new moon cycle. Sagittarius season, Sagittarius moon. Sagittarius season, Sagittarius moon. What you got? Where are we now? Where are we now? No. What do we need to look at now? Too many questions, maybe. Don't be so shy. You're so shy. Yes, there are more options, Sagittarius. Sagittarius. There are more options. Where are we heading? Some guidance. Where are we heading? Some guidance. Come on. Ooh. Come on, man. Oh. This never happened before. Why doesn't it show? Yeah, my hands are so small. That'll work. Thank you. Okay. So this card already flipped over. It's 7 of Cups. And it is the dream card, the daydream card. You see this person is laying during the day in the grass, like, and there's this cloud of 7 cups full of subjects. It's a little bit about what I was just saying. There are so many options. There are so many possibilities. There are so many subjects that we should look into. The rushed world I speak about a lot. And yeah, it can be overwhelming. It came together with the 3 of Cups. And you see this is actually the card which led me to buy this deck. Look at how cute. And she pours water, or a liquid, or water, out of 2 cups into 1. See how lovely tarot is? This is what I was just talking about. Harmonizing 2 opposite forces into 1. In a sense, this is a bit like the art card or the temperance card, which is Sagittarius card in the Thoth Tarot. I pulled it out just to study Sagittarius a bit more again. You see opposite forces combining. Oh wow, what did I just say? Temperance cards. I love it. It's just really like art. Sometimes when I'm working on a new piece and I start, and the start is nice, but then I quickly come to a point where I'm like, this is going nowhere. But then it's all coming together very quick again. This angel is mixing gold and silver. She's standing with 1 foot in the water and 1 on the earth. There's a volcano eruption in the background. So there is a chemical reaction going on. And the Hanged Man was the first card. The Hanged Man speaks about looking at your situation from a different perspective. Yeah, because it actually showed what I was talking about, Yeager Tarot. Two of Wands. Action. You see Two of Wands. Lemniscati. 2 and 8 makes 10, so continuous action, movement, going forward. It's the first card of the Yeager Tarot, and it's under the Hanged Man. So, subject is the conflict between taking action and stepping back, or taking the time to think about your actions. For now. 3 and 5 of Swords. The 3 of Swords are in this triangle. When we look at symbols of the elements, this triangle is the element of fire. So this could be action, an active idea. But 5 are changes and also confrontations, not very positive changes. I'll first get the cards and then I'll look at all the cards that I got and come up with stories that might resonate to your situation. Guidance towards the future, Sagittarius season, new moon, Ace of Wands, Ace of Wands. The aces are the elements in its purest form. Wands is fire. So I don't read tarot in looking at the future, what will the future bring. I do pick out cards that can say something about the future, but not per se what is going to happen, but more like if you might run into a situation like this in the future, then these cards can give you guidance and insights to prepare yourself for those type of situations. But aces in a way do speak about fortune telling, future telling, because it's not manifested yet. It's an element, it's a form of it's the idea of the element, and this is sort of the idea of the idea. So the first spark, inspiration. Like, what is inspiration? Inspiration comes so quickly, like suddenly. Okay, Cosmic Tarot. Cosmic Tarot. Whoop. 10 of Swords. Six of Cups. 4 of Cups. Hermit. Oh, this deck is so beautiful. So the first card I got is 10 of Swords. It's a very chaotic, bit frightening card. Oh, oil burner needs some water. losing your mind. It's about losing your mind because you get too much information. Like you literally feel attacked by all your thoughts, by all the information. This is a card that I find, well, all the negative sword cards. Swords speak about thoughts, intellect, communication. This is the era that we live in. There's too much information that we have to digest in such a short time with the internet, and it's unnatural. But also 10 is the last number of the cycle. And you cannot take anymore. It's the maximum. It's all you already crossed your limits. You're losing your mind, going crazy. This card fell as first under the Hanged Man and under the Two of Wands. Okay, first this Six of Cups and Four of Cups. The Six of Cups. 2 times 3 makes 6. It's a harmony number. Harmony of feelings. Harmony of emotions. And the Four of Cups is the stable number. Look what we see there in the background. A horse. I think it's all best so. I'll just give it some time. Slow it down, just like this period. And then we got the Hermit. Lovely, lovely Hermit card. Yeah, it's funny. It's in a way almost already what I already said. If I look at all the sword cards, so the mind, they're only conflict cards. So there is no stability in the mind, and that is why we should retreat and get the most out of the dark days within your feelings. Maybe some of you have been giving a lot but not receiving enough. Maybe some of you had a relationship, but it wasn't a 6, it was a 5. It was a lot of arguing, fighting, manipulation, mind games. And you want the stability of the 4, and so you broke up and now you're alone. But it's okay. Now you're stable again. Now it's time for you to retreat. Now it's time for you to dream, to daydream, to take the time to take the time to dream and to fantasize
see how... Oh my god, these cars. I actually wanted to wait to make this video because this street is so hectic.
When I can't let go.